Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sixth installment of Stream Along. Oh, we apologize for the cancellation of last week's episode. We had complications with one of our hosts, and we couldn't really continue with our show because he is an integral part of our show. Tonight we'll be joined by Wuks. He's a Twitch variety streamer and a close friend of mine and Josh. Today we'll be talking about loss in the family and how Wuks specifically went through this or how we processed this. Um, Also, I'd like to announce that we're going to rebrand soon. We're gonna have a new name. We're gonna have new graphics, and I just wanted the audience to know. Uh, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more of the person in the chat from now on. I'll be here talking to you through the chat box and taking any questions that need to be taken up to the other hosts. And wait, let me see how they're going because I think I've given them enough time to get to know each other. Let's undeafen. Let's undeafen. I'm
June
undeafening.
2015. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
What's
talk
going
more
on?
about that later.
All right.
Yeah,
let
later
me...
na lang.
Right now, let's talk about problems.
Oh, okay. Let me just
What the-
transition. They don't see you yet. Here you go. Hi guys.
What's up?
Hey, I missed you guys. Sorry we couldn't make it last week.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. It was my fault.
I tried to keep that
It was
secret,
my
like,
fault.
Okay. uh,
Hello.
My little bird.
what's that?
Hey, we have a new guest today. Our guest that was supposed to guest last week, thankfully, forgave me for canceling, and
all
still
good.
decided to get. You forgive me, right? Decided
Yes,
to
of course, my friend.
I was
I'm not
begging.
cancelled anymore.
I was begging for his forgiveness earlier.
True.
For 5 minutes.
Okay, nobody got it on clip. It's okay.
Oh, don't
Wait.
worry, I was recording.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway.
Going up on the YouTube. Anyway, wait, Josh, what are we talking about tonight? I don't know.
What were you talking about earlier or in general?
What are we going to talk about tonight?
I don't know, Wuks. What are we talking about?
Actually,
Oh my God.
I already introduced it a while ago to
Oh.
chat, but like,
I
so
know-
if
I
you
know
guys
you
want
didn't.
to, if you guys want a refresher, we're gonna be talking about loss in the family and how Wook specifically dealt with it.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, Vox.
It
Oh,
was.
sorry.
wow.
That's you.
That's
That's
you.
you. That's you.
That's me. I mean, do you just want me to go like straight into what happened, or?
No, but I'm curious, like, how can I know first how long ago this was? Because I'm asking because the fact
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're okay with talking about it now. Yeah.
Specific 2019. So I guess it's like 3 years ago. Tama ba? 3. Yeah.
Almost. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yeah. It happened like March 2019. So it's been a while.
But
I mean, like talking
That's
about
close.
it, it's I mean, it's how do I say this? It's not that I'm not affected, but like I'm able to process what I'm feeling with
Mhm.
regards to it. So it's
So you
not
think
that
it's a
hard.
good idea. That's how you think it's a good idea to talk about it now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know where to. I don't even know how to like ask a question to lead into
Okay.
that.
I mean, I could just go straight to it. Like,
Yes.
what
Yeah.
happened? Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? What happened? Flashback. March. So, uh, it happened. Well, I lost my dad to
Sorry.
It's okay. So, like, to everyone in chat, this is kind of like very sensitive. I mean, but yeah, I lost my dad to ano, heart failure. I guess heart attack. At well, his exact like time of death was March 29, 2019. I was able to know about it around March 30, like the day after. And so so what happened was he was healthy, like he was like fit. He was actually thinner than me at that
Mhm.
time, but not like bad thin. It's more of like fit thin.
Like he
Like
he
yeah,
exercises.
yeah, he exercises a lot. Like he eats very healthily. He eats
Yeah.
like
He really
like
like all the
fruits.
check marks
Yeah, all the
to
check marks.
uh,
Um, he like yung weird thing is nagpalit kami ng nagpalit kami ng shirt size. He was wearing my shirt. I was wearing his old shirts because
yeah,
I got big and he got like really
yeah,
thin.
yeah.
And so he was exercising every day. He was actually cycling every Saturday, every weekends in Laos with his co-Filipino friends there because he works abroad.
Okay.
And so he was fairly healthy. So it was kind of like a shock to us. Um, although he had medication though. He had medication because he is a smoker. He's a
So
heavy
he had like
smoker before.
maintenance already for his
Yeah,
heart,
yeah.
ganun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Parang around 2017, he had like an emergency checkup. Not emergency, but like a checkup on a whim. Like, oh yeah, I should get it checked up just cause. And the doctor prescribed him medication. Apparently, may block na dun sa heart niya. So he was taking meds, and then the doctor asked him to like, yo, stop smoking, basically. And so
And
he
he
did.
did.
He did. Yeah, he
Okay. And
did.
then he got fit.
Yeah, he got fit.
Okay.
And then one day, around maybe like 29, around March 26,
Hmm.
he was complaining to my mom about like chest pain. Like he couldn't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Chest pain. He said I was like Wednesday he was having chest pains, and then he was video calling my mom, and then like my mom was just talking, blah blah blah. And then this guy, this crazy guy, thinks that it's just heartburn, and so he did. He lifted weights because he thought it was just I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm a strong man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he worked out, and then the next day it kind of got worse. He said he really couldn't breathe. So he said like it really hurts. It's really bad. I couldn't eat. I can't eat. I'm puking. And so he went to the doctor abroad, and in his workplace, right?
Mm.
Like an on-site doctor, because he was like in charge of overseeing like a dam being built. So they're
Mhm.
very very far from
Civilization.
yeah, civilization. Yeah,
Oh.
they're up the hills basically.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a language barrier between a Lao doctor and a Filipino guy, right?
Mhm.
The guy is not really fluent in English, the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking, and then the doctor missed all the symptoms of heart attack. It was like very clear. He was very pale. He is having pains in his left chest that feels like someone's like leaning on him,
Yeah.
and like kind of like blue lips. So that's like a really big red flag for a heart attack. And I don't know the conversation, but apparently what the company said was that the Lao doctor wasn't able to diagnose him fully, and so they
Yeah.
gave him meds for heartburn.
Heartburn. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
So for
like, di ba, that's like acid lang
yeah,
to me.
comes Friday, right? Friday, March 12th, the 29th of March. My mom got a weird feeling because when my dad took a bath, he video called my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Why are you video calling me while you're taking a bath? What's wrong?" And then my mom started thinking, okay, something bad might happen because he video called me while he was taking a bath. Meaning,
Yeah.
he was thinking that if something wrong happened, my mom knows.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Your dad could already sense that something
yes,
was
he was.
wrong.
I'm pretty sure he was afraid. And then he rode the car because he was like, all right, I'm going to the hospital. My mom actually told my dad to go to the hospital Wednesday night,
Yeah.
but my dad was like acting really tough. You know how like men are like,
So I'm like, yeah,
I'm
GM.
strong. I'm strong.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. This is
Yeah.
fine. So my dad was kind of like that, and he has a really high pain tolerance. So
Yeah.
Friday, it apparently it took 5 hours for him to reach the hospital,
Why?
and because
Traffic?
they were far from civilization,
Oh, right. Because they're in the
Malayo lang.
dam and shit. Okay.
and over that time he was just already puking blood, like puking really hard. They had to stop every now and then because he couldn't handle it. They got to the hospital. My mom was still able to text my dad like, "Hey, I got the news. The doctor when they reached the hospital, they contacted my mom immediately and said, "Hey, um, oh actually no, they got to the hospital in Laos, right? And the hospital there couldn't treat him,
Why
so
not?
they had to go to Thailand.
Uh-huh.
So they had to cross the border. So that's another couple of hours.
Mm.
My dad reached the hospital around 6 p.m. He left the office at 8 a.m. By the
Oh
way.
my goodness, man.
Mm-hmm. So they got to the hospital. They got to the hospital, and that's when at around like afternoon, my mom got the call. Hey, I need. Actually, my mom thought it was a scam because a doctor called him. Hey, I need like around $20,000 to operate on your husband because he's having a heart attack out of the blue in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my mom just like straight up like panics. Like what the fuck? Yes, I have the money. Just do it. My mom started booking the flight immediately. Left for work. Called all my titas and for help.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to my dad. Yeah, my dad was like really fine. Hey, yeah, I'm fine. I'm in the hospital. I'm doing good. Can you bring me my underwear, please? Because I don't have clothes.
Mm.
That's like around 6 p.m. So that's the last text that my mom received. She flew there to Laos on the 30th. And then, ayun. When she got there, um, she was with my tita kasi she was very scared, right? Out of the blue happened, like random
Yeah.
shit happened.
Yeah.
So they went there. When they got to the hospital, they sat her down. And then that's when they said that my dad died.
Mm.
So for my mom, it was very traumatizing because like they were just talking and then biglang bam 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 this
Mm.
happened.
Yeah.
My mom was actually able to see my dad still, but sa ano na sa morgue na, like the body the body was still warm apparently according to her. So it was very traumatizing for her. And then after talking to the company, like apparently everything went wrong. One, the doctor wasn't able to, the loud doctor on site
Mm.
wasn't able to diagnose him properly. Number two, the funny thing was, well, not really funny, but like ironically, they have a freaking like a helicopter on
Yeah.
site
Yeah.
to bring my dad to a hospital, but
But
miscommunication happened. So like they could have prevented the 5 to 7 hour travel
Yeah.
time by riding a helicopter.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that happened,
Mm.
but it happened, right?
Mm.
So
They
when
just
my
said it
dad,
was a miscommunication.
yeah, my dad went like when he reached the hospital, I saw the coroner report. It was so bad. Like even if my dad like got revived or survived the heart attack, his kidney was gone. His lower extremities, no more blood was flowing there. All the veins are ruptured.
Mm.
His lungs are not working anymore.
Like
And
all
then
the yeah.
like everything is just dead basically.
Mm.
So parang damn.
Yeah. Imagine the pain he was going through driving himself to the hospital.
Yeah. No, I mean he got a driver naman. Like
Okay.
there's like a
Yeah,
because
of
he has
course.
like his own driver. But
My
still
goodness.
like
Yeah. Still.
the travel time, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he
Then having
started
to cross
according
the
to the doctor,
border.
he started having the heart attack Wednesday. And this dude endured it for 3.5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so ayun.
What a
He
way to go.
It's crazy. I don't
So
think
sorry that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he didn't. I don't think that he thought he was gonna die, with how he texted my mom, right?
Yeah.
Kasi parang, hey, bring me my clothes.
Mm.
Yeah. Like bring me my underwear. Like
Yeah,
sobrang
sobrang
typical.
chill.
It's gonna be okay. Just bring me my
Yeah,
underwear.
diba? Sobrang chill.
Mm.
His official like time of death. So my mom was able to talk to him around 6 p.m.
Mm.
ng 29. His official time of death was like 10 p.m. So he died 4 hours after.
Mm.
As parang
While
they
she
were
was
gonna
flying,
perform.
basically.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I don't know the specific time when my mom took the flight kasi I was in school. I was taking an exam when I got the text, dude. I had to talk to my
Oh my
prof and like, yo,
goodness.
can you
Oh
excuse me
my
for a bit?
goodness.
my dad's kind of like dying. Can I can I get excused from class?
Kind of.
Yeah. Not because like at that time I didn't know the
Yeah, you
seriousness of
didn't
what's
know the
happening.
details. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Oh
kind
man.
of I didn't even like everyone in my family knew except me. They didn't want to tell me. So when I
Mm.
came home, all my cousins came over and I was like, what the fuck's happening here? And they were like
May birthday ba?
kind of like semi sobbing, but they didn't want let me
Yeah.
know. So and then we're like, okay, what's happening here? And then ayun, I flew to my mom. I didn't want to fly because I'm like, Ma, you can handle this. I need to like do some schoolwork because I thought because my mom said like everything's fine. So I'm
Mm.
like, okay, everything's fine.
Oh,
Then
she
I
didn't break the news pa to
yeah,
you.
she wanted to tell it to me personally, and then she
Yeah.
told me, I really need you to go to like help me. So I'm like, okay, weird. And then she gave my aunt an envelope with my certificate on it, and I'm like, huh. I'm not dumb. Why would you need a certificate of me? So in the back of my head, I'm like, oh shit, he's dead.
Mm.
What do you mean certificate of you? What kind of
Birth
certificate?
certificate
Ah, okay. Alright.
for like claiming
Yeah,
insurance,
yeah, yeah.
right? So I'm not dumb,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
know,
Wuks.
like, if you're, oh, yeah, yeah, like if someone's hospitalized, why would they need my birth
Yeah.
certificate
Mhm.
Yeah.
and their marriage contract, right? So I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shit, is he dead? At the back of my mind, I'm like, fuck. I don't know how to react but like at the moment. So I'm like just parang okay, I'm just letting it like happen. And then I got there to Laos and then they sat me in like the hotel room and then they like broke it down to me like okay, this is what happened. And I'm like shit. I couldn't even cry out of like sheer shock.
So unexpected.
Yeah. Like I was just talking to him the other
Mhm.
day and
Yeah.
then I'm here and he's dead. Like hello? What the fuck happened? I wasn't even able to see him. Like when I got there, I wasn't able to see his body until it was shipped to the Philippines. Because apparently it's a tradition in, or not a tradition, but it's like a law in Thailand that when someone dies, either you cremate them or you cremate them immediately. And we were like, hell no, because he has relatives in the Philippines, so they had to freeze his body,
Mm.
and I couldn't like, so I couldn't see him. It took me like what, almost a month before I was able to see him, or like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So ayun, there's that. Took me a while. Really, I had a hard time of how to react because like I couldn't believe it. Right? I'm like, no, no, he's not dead. You're just joking, right? For like the whole stay there in Thailand, I'm like, shit, dude, I need to wake up in this dream. Someone
Mm.
punched me. I need to wake up. And then came back um here, the Philippines. Um, I had to like do the paperwork. So that's stuff. Doing the paperwork, that shit stuff. Like to anyone who had like their relatives or lost their loved ones and they had to deal with the paperwork, that shit stuff. Because the people you are dealing with, they're not very sympathetic.
What is this for, like
It's
estate tax and stuff like that?
like securing his because iba yung certificate niya, it's he died abroad, so his
Mm.
death certificate here, we had to process that.
Mm.
What else, yung like just the burial itself, yung kabaong, yung libingan, like everything. His insurance, which I kind of like breathed through earlier off stream, you know. And then ano pa ba, ari-arian, like houses, money, um what else, unpaid bills. Like we had
Mhm.
to, in a span of um a month or two, we had to deal with everything. It's hard because people that are behind, like, I'm not saying all of them, but from experience, they're very not sympathetic with you. It's really hard for them. It's just normal business, you know, dealing with these. So we had to deal with that, deal with the paperwork and all. I had to deal with that, and I don't know how to deal with those, like signing and shit. You know, transferring the name because like this house was named my mother and my father, so they had to transfer it to me into her. We had to make a joint account. We had to pull out the money because apparently for banks, if a person dies and they have a bank account or a shared bank account, if they receive the news that he died, they're gonna freeze the bank account,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So my mom works for the bank and she knows this. So while
Mhm.
she was fucking grieving, she had to like fucking haul
Sort
ass and do
everything out.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you
Dude.
you had to like release an obituary, had to talk to people, what happened, and then she had to break it to the my lolo and lola, like my dad's mother and father.
Yeah.
So, ayun.
They
That
didn't
was
even know
another.
yet.
Nope. It's basically everybody in the family knew except my lolo and lola because they are very how do you call this? Dad, I mean, kasi second na anak yung dad ko. And my dad was kind of like the the glue to the family, right? He was always the one who would say, "Hey, let's go out." Like
Yeah.
always asking my grandparents to go out, bringing them to trips.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for them, and my dad was actually the first one in their family
Mhm.
to go.
Mm.
What affected me the most was not really the death of my dad, but seeing my mom cry and not being able to like, like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Sorry. A bit emotional, but for me that's the hardest
Oh,
part.
but
And then uh my grandparents too. I think that's the hardest part. Like seeing them cry and you don't know what to do.
mm.
I can imagine the pain of my lola because uh losing a kid. That's that should be a rule in this
Yeah.
universe that you can't
Losing
heal a
Parents
child.
should
kid.
never have
Yeah.
to bury their
Yes.
children.
I
But
think
yeah.
that's the hardest part. Like seeing that. And then even up until now, every time it's hard for me because every time my lola sees me, she sees my dad and
Yeah.
she hugs me really. So it's really hard for me
Oh my
dealing
goodness.
with that. Yeah. Sorry to unpack. Everything's a bit pretty heavy. Yeah, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
good, dude.
It's
You don't
okay.
need, you don't need to apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah. I'm so
Yeah.
lucky though that I have like a strong support system. My girlfriend's actually in chat right now. She really helped me a lot. And she
Shout
really
out
helped me like
to Wuks' girlfriend.
yeah.
Mm.
She really helped me unpack these things, like deal with these emotions and whatnot. Because at times I was just like I couldn't go to class, you know, like things that would remind I couldn't even play the guitar. Like I have guitars at the back. At one
Mhm.
point and I couldn't play the guitar. Every time I'd like look at the guitar, I'd just like burst in tears. I couldn't. Because I always jammed with my dad.
Oh
His
my
bass
goodness.
guitar's actually right there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things were really hard.
You're
Like,
close to your dad.
yeah. Something like that, yeah. And then like imagine you're already grieving. Things that
Mhm.
remind you of your father, it just really makes you, very nakakaiyak. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, paperworks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
dealing with
all the
people.
legal stuff.
That's even up until now we're not done. So that's the
Mm.
hardest part for me.
Ganyan nga talaga. Dude, this topic was so I don't know nga, like I know like Kaelen told us you were gonna talk about something, but for some reason I didn't know it was about this. But it's so timely for me also.
Mhm.
But I'll just talk about it later.
Okay.
But wow. Yeah, because it's your time to share. But, yeah, how were you like you mentioned nga na like your girlfriend helped you deal with all those stuff that happened. How did
Mhm.
you deal with all the
How did
like
I deal
emotions?
with it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird. But
Hmm?
it how do you say this? It never goes away. You have to live with the fact that what you're feeling now, it'll never go away ever. You lose the
It'll
love.
come
It's all
it'll
right to feel
disappear.
that way. Yeah,
Mhm.
you lost a loved one. You lost a family member.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
it'll never go away, and it's okay to
Yeah.
feel that way.
Dude.
The only
Mhm.
thing that like I kind of like saw that, and then my girlfriend actually talked to me about it and said na like this and that. It'll never go away. Because parang my emotions were like, how can this stop? I don't want to feel this.
You
This
wanted to just
hurts.
get rid of it.
And then I got the reality check that it'll never go away. It happened, and this is a part of you,
Mm.
right? You cannot deny that this happened. You cannot deny the existence of your dad. It happened,
Yeah.
right? And
You'll
it's okay
always
to feel
remember your
sad.
dad. Yeah.
Yeah. But what you can do is you're gonna continue living. You're gonna grow around the grief. My girlfriend always gave me this parang image in my
Mm.
like the thing that I could imagine whenever I'm feeling sad is that imagine like a box, right?
Mm.
You're
And then
inside a
the ball
box.
bouncing around with that
Yeah,
one.
you know that one,
Okay, continue.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're in your box. You're in the box. You're a ball. You're bouncing around, and then there's just a button in the box. You're bouncing around as you're going through life, and every now and then you're gonna hit that button. And when you hit that button, that's the grief, that's the pain. And so, like, just the box will just grow, and the button will just get smaller and smaller, but it'll never disappear. It's just still
Mhm.
there. And then every now and then in life, you're gonna hit the button, and that's just
Mm.
how it is.
That's a very good analogy. I
Yeah.
too check Facebook from time to time. I
Yes.
saw that picture.
hmm But hey, it's very helpful.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
very good analogy. Yeah.
yeah, if you, it's hard because it's hard to get to that point. You're gonna have to have like a super amazing support system, and luckily I did have it, and I still do have them. So I got to that point. But every now and then you'd have these moments, but you just have to realize that you have to grow, and you know you have to continue living.
Grabe yung timing ng topic na to. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I share a little?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Actually, kaya nga namin, like, that's why I presented myself then to Galen.
Mm.
Because, like, the
You
time right
presented
now.
yourself to Kaelen. Kaelen.
Wait,
It is
Because, like,
I.
I,
Was it like
I told him, hey, I'm like, hey, I can talk about this.
You
Because, like,
T-posed in front of Kaelen. Kaelen.
because it's very
Sorry.
timely. A lot of people are losing their loved ones in this time, right? So, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I could share, like,
Yeah.
how I dealt with it and something. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so around February, because before Feb, like my grandfather, I'm actually in his room now. That's where I've been staying. Um, one time he went out in during these COVID times around January or something,
Mhm.
and then he got sick. Um, it wasn't COVID, but it was like because he's already old and he what do you call it? Like he'd get dialysis because he had a kidney transplant and then it had been like 5 years now. So it was starting to get wonky again, the kidney. Because apparently when you get a kidney transplant, it only lasts
Mhm.
a few years.
Yeah.
So he got sick really easily. So that one time he went out, he got pretty sick, like something like pneumonia or something like that.
Mhm.
So he'd have a hard time eating. He was out of the hospital, but he still wouldn't have an appetite. So we were all worried. My Lola, who's like the rock of my dad's side of the family, I would say.
Oh, the Diero freeze.
The Diero freeze.
I think they are disconnected.
Oh shit.
No. Diero, come back. F.
Hmm. F. Well,
F's in chat.
to like, I actually have a question for you. Like, I remember from long ago, not really long ago, when you were talking about this like for the first time with us. You mentioned that you also met with Jay, our guest from last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you guys? Wait, I'm not sure if I can say this. No, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's okay
Yeah.
with it. It's just that at the time he also lost his father,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm wondering how you two spoke together while you met, especially.
You know, the funny thing is, he never opened that up to me.
He didn't.
He never told me that. So it's very weird. But I don't know. It's like let's say talking to someone, like someone who lost a loved one, like a father. Um, I guess it's really helpful that they know what you. It's really helpful to know that someone in like in the universe knows what you're going through. It kind of helps. It's not really like, hey, you should do this and that. These are the tips and tricks. It never, like, you almost never talk about it
Mm.
unless the person opens up. But then it's good to know that someone knows what you're feeling, has gone through it, and they're kind of, doing okay, is basically what I'm trying to say. Parang, yes, not really I got through this, but like I'm okay. I can compose myself, and you know. So I like it's good to know that someone knows what you feel, because I remember my girlfriend talking to me and saying that, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really hard for them to understand the pain of what you're going through, especially if they haven't like lost that specific someone, because it's very very different. It's very very different. I don't know how to explain it. You just have, it's like someone you know and then suddenly they're not there, and then you don't know what to do, and then you get all the what ifs, right? Because my relationship with my dad is not always perfect. Like, there's ups and downs. There's definitely regrets, and it's I think that's what eats people up, are the regrets. I know my mom had a lot of trouble dealing with the what ifs. Kasi apparently my dad didn't take his medication too seriously. And so my mom thought to herself, na shit, maybe I should have reminded him to drink more meds. Maybe I should have seen this and that. Maybe I should have seen, like, the symptoms. And I think that's what eats people up.
Mhm.
It's the what ifs. Like, what could I have done? What could have other people done so that he could have lived? And I had to keep telling my mom that, you know, these are all like afterthoughts already. It happened.
Mm.
It's not your fault that you couldn't think of this during that moment, because we're human. We can't fucking like telepathically read people's minds or see what, or it happened. Like, nobody's at fault. We can't really blame anyone. You know, personally, like, I don't blame the company, right? I don't want to hold grudges against them. They know they did something wrong. They replaced the doctors with like a better doctor that can speak
Oh, that's
fluently in English,
yeah.
right? So I don't blame them. Like, sometimes there are lapses. It's very hard on them because they're a professional company and they shouldn't have these lapses. I don't blame my mom for like the lapses. I don't blame my dad. I
Yeah.
maybe before I did blame my dad for the lapses, because he didn't he wasn't very he wasn't very careful of his like meds, and he enjoyed the pain, didn't really talk to anyone. But it happened. I can't blame him. Like,
Mm.
if he thought that was what he's supposed to do, then you know it's just gonna people are just gonna like gets like eaten by their grief because of the what ifs, because of, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, but you couldn't, because
Yeah.
these are all, as I said, after the fact, right?
Exactly.
So I think ayun, it's good to know that people that you talk to, they understand, because a lot of people, pag may mga, ay, am I too loud? Pag may mga lamay, a lot of like the people there, naku, sayang, dapat ganito ganyan, dapat ganito
Mm.
ganyan, right? A lot of them were, dapat kasi ganito ganyan, dapat
They
kasi,
should
but
have. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that honestly, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all.
Mhm.
Okay,
You guys,
dapat
I'm sure
ganito, okay.
you guys know all that already. You've
Yeah,
already
di ba?
processed all that.
Yeah,
What's done is
dapat daw
done.
ganyan, di ba? Parang, okay, di gawin mo, try mo gawin, babalik ba?
Let's
It
yeah,
doesn't help.
babalik ba?
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
Parang just be with the person. If they need you, then be there. You don't
Mm.
have to like say some stuff. If you don't have to say anything, then don't. Just your presence helps, actually. Like
I guess it
maybe
goes
like
into
yeah, sorry. Just
no, like, go lang, go
remembering
lang.
just remembering the person, right? Oh,
Mm.
the good memories, reliving the good memories, that's fine, that's good. It really helps. But like yung mga what ifs, I really hate those.
Yeah.
That's
What if?
why talking to people that have lost someone and they know this and they know how to talk to you, and it really helps. It really helps that knowing that somebody really understands.
I guess it goes into people trying to provide solutions instead of just being there for the people. Like,
Yes, exactly.
gusto nila
Parang cautionary tale siya for for the
hindi siya
rest.
cautionary tale eh. It's like if people don't, I guess culturally we don't really listen or grieve with the person. We listen to solve the
Mhm.
person's problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting way to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, in terms of like other people's problem, I
Mm.
tend to.
Because I guess
But yeah.
if that is like in Filipino culture, I guess because we just
Mm-hmm.
want to help,
Mm.
Yeah,
and I guess
but
that's
then
to them.
I think
They
they fail
think
to
that's
see the
help.
fact that it's not a problem.
It's not a problem
It's
for
not a
them.
problem
It's
you
not a
can solve
problem.
anymore.
It's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything kunyari ganto. They would try to provide solutions for future things, but then ano yung chances na ganun uli yung mangyayari, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty hard to say na okay, next time pag ganito nangyari, ganito. Pero
Hmm. When you're there in the moment, like I'm
uh,
sure, like Wuks, your dad, he knows his body, especially if
Yeah.
he's the type to work out. So I guess
Yeah.
he really genuinely thought it was no biggie.
Yeah. Dude,
mm,
that honestly, can I just say that guy's a badass in my eyes. Borderline crazy, by the way,
Hmm.
because this guy, he was riding a motorcycle with the helmet,
Hmm.
of course, for
Mhm.
safety. The guy climbs a curve. The car in
Yeah.
front of him stops.
Yeah.
He hits the brake so hard he gets thrown off
Yeah.
the bike. He gets unconscious. Goes to the hospital, gets treated, broken bones and whatnot. After a few
Oh.
days, he goes to work like nothing happens. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? This
Akala
guy's
ko he went
crazy.
to the hospital while he was unconscious. That's
No,
badass.
that's bad. That's badass. I mean,
Conscious
he got
nag-hospital.
like glimpses of it, but this guy
Yeah.
never got scared.
Yeah.
He probably did for like deep inside, but then this guy just like went to work
Yeah. Like,
after a couple of
I'm
months.
fine. Okay, back to
Yeah, just goes to show his pain tolerance. The guy flies out of a
pinagpad lang niya yung
motorbike.
pants niya. Tas okay.
Yeah, guy flies out of a motorbike, goes unconscious, wakes up in a
Just goes,
hospital the next.
oh.
It just
Yeah,
dusted off for good.
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. But that's kind of like a funny story to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Naging funny story na lang.
yeah, diba?
Yeah.
Like the seriousness of it all.
Yeah. Oh, dude, thanks so much for sharing this. Like I know, yeah, it happened 2019, but still, I mean, that was the way you're talking about it. Sounds it was as if it just happened, like weirdly enough.
Yeah,
how you
Mm.
feeling?
Yeah.
me.
How
Oh,
are you feeling, dude?
Um, I'm okay. What gets me the most, guys, my mom. Like, it's mostly because what makes me emotional is seeing my mom cry because
Mm.
of this, right?
mhm.
I think yun nga, as I said earlier, that's the hardest thing for me because I can't do anything to make her feel better. So I
How's
just have
your
to
mom
let her
doing?
cry.
Still
Uh,
happens.
I think she's very, very traumatized in a bad
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Because if someone in our family gets sick, napapraning
She,
siya.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man.
So I mean, I've told her to seek medical help, like a psychiatrist, to help her process. Because I
Oh.
don't think she believes that it's a thing for her, but I
Mm.
can see it. Because yung like if yung mother niya or father gets sick, she really gets like antsy, like she panics,
Mm.
she hyperventilates.
Yeah.
So I can like that's why I dealt with the paperwork then. Because what happens is she really becomes unreasonable because she can't think straight because she's very very traumatized. She's
Mhm.
ano eh, kaya I kind of like told her, okay, give me your email, let me answer this kasi it reminds her of the event,
Mm.
and I it's very very painful for me, and but I can't imagine it for her because
Yeah.
it's her
I,
partner and she
yeah.
saw the body
Yeah.
Yeah.
still warm.
And she was literally just talking to him
Yeah,
diba, before
so
everything.
I can't imagine the pain
Mhm.
of like, oh, and then just being reminded of it, like if you see the paperwork she's being reminded of my
Yeah.
dad, so I kind of wonder, I kind of
And
I
hopefully
take the
you'll be
work.
able to convince her to like, go to therapy or anything, see a psychiatrist.
Mm, maybe if everything has subsided. I mean, like as I've told like Kaelen, we're still dealing with like a couple of legal cases here and
Mm.
there, and she, I don't think she's ano eh, because she needs to get checked up then, because like a year after my dad died, um she got operated for ano sa kidney niya for cancer. So
Mm.
I kind of
Oh,
want her to like get physically healthy muna.
yeah, yeah, before.
Yeah, because she's so stressed out of her mind.
Mhm.
So ayun. I mean, I keep telling her na to relax. When something happens, like, okay, relax. You don't have to, you know, let me deal with this. Let me talk to people, or just I have to break it down to her. Okay,
Mhm.
this is what's happening. This is what's supposed to happen. You're overreacting. Yun. But yeah, my mom's very very traumatized. It's really hard for her. Oh yeah, you were about to share something kanina, Diero, when you
Mm.
cut.
Yeah, no, okay, sorry about
I
that.
kind
That
of
was so
wanna
funny.
no, because I'm curious. Then I kind of wanna.
Okay. So what was the last thing you guys heard before my
Lolo
laptop?
was the rock
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
Um, that she was. Where does this lead?
doing the rock
Um,
dance.
Okay.
my Lola was literally the Rock
The
doing the
Rock.
Rock shots, and then no, so yeah, my Lolo he went out
Mhm.
went out once, got sick. Then
Mm.
he was yun, and then my Lolo was taking care of him. He didn't have an appetite for weeks. Like he would update us in our family chat. Then one day, she sends us a video of Lolo eating a lot again because
Mhm.
he parang he was craving chorizo for some reason that day, and then they had the chorizo he wanted. And my grandparents kasi are from Batangas, so she just sent us the whole
Shout out
family this video of
Batangas
yeah. Where
Chorizo.
where in Batangas are you guys from?
City
Dogs.
mismo.
Okay, Batangas.
It's
We're
fine. I
from
don't care.
Nasugbu, Batangas. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
yeah, where the beaches are at.
Mm-hmm.
Where the
Then
beaches are at.
yeah, and then Lolo was like eating a lot, as in wow, like he got his appetite back talaga. So we're like, oh, Lolo's a lot better now. As in he has his appetite back, and he seemed really like happy and jolly. Um, yeah, because he lost so much weight when he lost his appetite. And the same day, because like his kidney was a bit wonky, so he
Mm-hmm.
had to start getting dialysis again. So he was scheduled for dialysis. He'd go there like once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. So typical, something he has done many times, and then he's accompanied by my one tita. Then he was like joking pa with the nurses down in the hospital, like cause he's a regular na there, and then he joke
Mm-hmm.
around, like he's laughing pa. And suddenly like he got started getting
Mm.
seizures after the procedure. Long story short, he fell into a coma
Mm-hmm.
and that he never woke up from.
Mm-hmm.
That's Feb. And then like and then just to cut the story short, like for a while, like for a few days, like I think a couple of weeks lang, he was just in a coma, and then we all went to Batangas to visit him in the hospital he was at. And then the doctors would like, give us the updates that you might want to like already
Mm-hmm.
say your goodbyes to
Yeah.
Lolo. Yeah, so like we each like took turns staying beside him, just talking to him, telling him whatever. And then you like it was just it was like the machine just
Ventilator.
letting
Yeah.
him making him breathe, and you could see like his his face looked really pained. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
and then, well, and then one day, and so I'm back in Manila, and for a while I was tutoring this kid from our village, and then I get the text from, I don't know, that yeah, like Lola passed away already.
Mm-hmm.
It was so quick, and it was so unexpected. Like, yeah, our Lola was old, but
Yeah.
it was like he was about to he looked like he was getting better now, and then suddenly that all that happened, and then yeah, and then he's gone, and then here I'm in his room now. Like, I'm looking at the place where he used to lie down all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I super get that whole the box with the the bouncing
Yeah.
ball, right? Because last night I had a dream. No, 2 nights ago, I had a dream about him. I forgot what about, but he was in my dream, and then I woke up crying. Like, I
Yeah.
woke up, I was like
Oh, yeah.
sobbing. So funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the way, like, when you were explaining how it's so hard to see your mom that way, it's the same with my Lola. Like,
Mm.
as in, it was so hard for my Lola. There's like a time where she wouldn't sleep talaga because she's handling like the wake and all that. It's like my Lola was well loved in Nasugbu. So even if I didn't really
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
we didn't want it, there are people that visited pa rin to pay respects. And so Lola wouldn't sleep for like 2 days straight, set, making sure everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, there's a time where she, like, how usually like old people, like Pinoy boomers, when you ask them, like, if they look sad or if something bad happens, then you ask them if they're okay. They usually just say, yeah, they're okay, like they lie. But
Mm-hmm.
my Lola, like, when like my sister asked her, like, Lola, how are you? And then she said, like, Lola would like straight up said, I'm not okay. And then she's crying
Ah,
loud. Yeah, and then
it's.
like she couldn't hide it talaga. And then she was
Mm-hmm.
saying like, sabi ng lola nyo, parang like she was talking about the plans na parang we're gonna
Yeah.
celebrate
Yeah.
our 60th wedding anniversary, all that too. And my Lola
Mm-hmm.
did, like, my Lolo, it wasn't the type kasi na he was ready to go, before the
Yeah.
coma. Like, he really had plans pa for like our family and stuff for like, yeah, like he still had stuff that he wanted to do. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing lang that gets me when I think about Lolo. Na it wasn't the type na, okay, I'm ready to go. Take me anytime, God. But it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I still want to do shit.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, you can't. And then, like, it was Mother's Day a few weeks ago, right? And then we
Mm-hmm.
greeted our Lola, and then some of my titas sent her food, and then she sent us photos of the food she got, and then she was like,
Yeah.
she's saying that it was such a happy Mother's Day, kulang na lang si Daddy. Sabi niya.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, jeez. Oh,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, so well, this is like the first major loss for me, Rin.
Mm-hmm.
It's my first grandparent. I had a great grandmother die when I was a little kid, and that was sad too. But like, now that I'm an
Yeah.
adult and like seeing also my titas, my dad, like, this is the first time one of their parents passed away and
Yeah.
everything. It's crazy. It's like nothing really prepares you for this kind of stuff, man.
Mm,
Just
that is true.
happens.
That is true.
Yeah. So grab it. Like, thank you for sharing all that. Like, I got to really, like, as cheesy as it sounds, right? I felt like, like, I'm not alone. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
I know a lot of people have experienced people die, like
Mm-hmm.
loved ones dying. But it's nice to hear you talk about like how you dealt with it, and
Mm-hmm.
some of this, even if our situations aren't so similar, like I could still kind of relate in a way, like
Yeah.
at least with the emotions that were going on, especially
Yeah.
how sudden stuff happened.
Do you
Yeah, it's
ano?
tough.
Do you believe in like yung mga superstitious belief nila,
Like
like
what?
the butterflies, the whatnot,
It's hard to say if
di
I really
ba?
do believe, but that stuff happens. Eh.
Di ba? Di ba? Di ba? Oh my God.
Butterflies show up, eh.
Can I just share you
and you
something? It's
and
really
you have
weird.
dreams about them and all
Di
that. Like,
ba?
it happens.
I
Yeah,
think
you
the first
experienced
time
that,
that
ba?
the first time that I actually like cried super hard alone. Nasa dorm ako. So yung setup ng dorm namin, it's bunk beds. Nasa
Mm,
middle yung aircon.
mm,
And it just bumubuga lang siya
mm,
straight forward. So I'm in the bunk bed, right?
mhm,
It was really like a rough time because it's like a year has passed since my dad died.
mm,
And then I'm like, oh my God, my life is so shit. I'm still in
Mm.
college and whatnot,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And then I fell asleep. And then I just dreamt of my dad. I'm trying to chase him, and I was talking to him, and he gave me a hug. You know what's
Your
so
dream? Oh
yeah,
man.
you know what's so like what really made me cry was that I felt the hug. I felt like a cold air like
Mm. Mm.
wrap around me.
Mm.
And then I thought it was really my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. I woke up and I started crying and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I explain this? The aircon's in front of me, but it came from behind.
Mm.
Like, what is this? And then I
May
just like,
second aircon pala kayo. Wow.
yeah, di ba? Wild, no, wild. And then there was one
May
time na
electric
ano.
fan.
May electric.
And then there was one time like, dude, butterflies come and go in this house. A lot of them, right?
And they didn't before.
They didn't before.
Sorry
There
if you
was
can hear
one
my dog.
time, nagda-drive kami. It's okay. Actually, hindi naman siya dinig. So,
Okay.
anyway, there was one time nagda-drive kami. Papunta kaming SNR ng mom ko. So, I was driving. We went to like a gas station para magpagas. And then a butterfly, tumapo siya dun sa parang sa mirror. Tapos nagstay
Mhm.
lang siya dun. And then, it caught the attention of the guy of yung nagre-refill
Mm.
ng gas. And then the butterfly flew to the wheel.
Mm.
So yung nagka-gas, the guy that was putting gas, he followed the butterfly. And then bago kami umalis, pinara niya kami. Sir, yung gulong nyo may malaking butas, there's a big nail. And that's where the butterfly was sitting on.
What the fuck?
Dude.
How do you explain that?
Yeah, how do you those kinds of like coincidences or whatever are so
Diba? I keep
interesting.
telling myself this is coincidence, but like how the fuck?
Like, that shit never happens like
Why
before,
would the butterfly go to a wheel?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And then there
I've
was
never
one
heard of
time
a
na ano,
butterfly go to a gas station, dude.
in the middle of an expressway, by the
Yeah.
way. Right? I'm like, what the fuck? And then may one time then there was a period kasi COVID, diba? There was a period na we weren't able to visit my dad for like a month, 2 months. And then kasi I always visit at Saturday. And then come by, I think Wednesday, a butterfly came into the house. And it stayed there until Saturday. Until pumunta kami dun sa puntod ni Daddy. Pagdating namin sa puntod ni Daddy, pagbalik namin ng bahay,
Wala na yung butterfly.
wala na. I mean, why would the butterfly stay in our house on the spot kung nasan yung picture siya for 3-4 days?
It was on the picture of your dad?
Like, yung picture ng dad ko nandun sa ibabaw, sa wall.
What?
How?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
explain to
tough
me. If
yeah,
science
right?
can explain that to me right now,
Yeah.
I would throw away superstition. But like, if it happens to you, I don't believe it, personally. I
American
keep like,
explain.
diba, I keep telling my lolas and my lolas and my lolas na parang,
Mm.
are you out of your mind? That's just like, you know, it just happens. But then it happens to you and you're like, okay, dude, stop playing with me.
Do you remember
What's
what color
happening?
the butterflies? But the butterflies were? What color were they?
It was
Do you
black.
remember?
It was
Black?
always black. It's never the colored ones, which is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Because you would
And you
expect
never
like
really
colored
see black
butterflies.
butterflies around.
Right? It's so weird. I don't know. Like, have you ever like so far have you ever experienced one of those?
Well, with Lolo, me, no, I haven't. But so far, it's just the dreams, and my sister also is like
Diba?
experience.
Yeah. Pati yung
I
mga
feel-
lola ko eh.
yeah.
They were like dreaming of dad usually. And they would always make this joke that would creep me out.
Yeah.
Na parang they'd lie on their bed and then they'd feel my dad na parang sit on the bed every night. And I'm like, okay, that's just creepy. But then I tell myself, well, you know, you say it's creepy, but then these things happen to you. So can you really say they're creepy? Right? So now I don't know. That's why I kind of just wanted to ask if like you like, you know.
I've experienced a weird supernatural thing, but Lolo was still with us when it happened. I haven't really experienced anything I can attribute to Lolo. But yeah, I should ask my sister. I think if she's experienced anything. But
some explanation I was given on that, what I heard
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
it's more of you notice these things more. You're these things really just do happen, but you're giving meaning
you're
to it.
primed.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That's what
It's
they've
like
said
Yeah.
was the
technology
explanation
talaga.
for that.
Gusto ko yung isang
Oh.
explanation
It
ni
could be.
Pump Queen eh. Kung bakit daw nandun yung butterfly sa
Oh,
gasolina.
Okay.
Okay,
Sa
dude.
gasolinahan. Papagasolina din daw yung butterfly.
Actually,
Okay.
dude,
Malayo pa yung
Alright.
dude,
lugar.
that
Okay.
explains it.
Alright.
Okay.
Time to pack up,
Yeah.
boys.
Pero like
Mystery
honestly, like
solved.
if these things are true or not,
Uh,
um I don't mind them because I it helps my grandparents and my mom
Yeah.
deal.
yeah.
Yeah,
It it
the
it
effect
gives them
of it.
something to grasp ba?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because it feels like something that they can control and they can like give meaning to in their own, ano.
Mm.
So that's why I don't give my lolo and my lola shit for saying that. I'm like, yeah,
Well,
sure.
actually.
Yeah, di ba? Di ba? I'm just like nod and like agree with them kasi parang it gives them peace of mind that the person's still there.
Mhm.
Basically, parang they're still with you in spirit and they think, I don't want to ruin that for them. So even for my mom, like if she thinks this butterfly is like my dad, then so be it. If it makes her feel better or if it gives her a peace of mind that my dad's still
Yeah,
here, right? Di ba?
dude. I just remembered one of like the moments I found so sad and I broke down when I was this is when I was visiting our house there in Batangas. Because that then my sister was really into baking these cookies and she was selling them in the family. Pretty good cookies actually. And that was around the time where Lolo wouldn't eat much. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently like my sister and I went there. She brought a bunch of her cookies and then like for lunch or breakfast, one of those meals, Lolo wouldn't eat anything, but he ate my sister's cookies.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and then so then when like I forget if he was still in a coma or if he already passed. I think he passed now. My tita called me and then she handed me like 500 pesos and then she said, "Oh, this is my payment. Give this to Sophia, my sister. Give Sophia. It's mine and Lola's payment for the cookies we ordered because Lola had ordered cookies
Mm-hmm.
that week before or something, and then that was the payment for it. So I got the money. Then I was just like, at first I thought I was worried that he didn't even get to try the cookies. Apparently he was able to, but in my mind I was like, the parang I hope Lolo was able to eat the cookies. And then I
Mm-hmm.
went to the room and then I just started crying, holding the
Yeah.
money. 'Cause, like that was like one of the last things now. Lolo was
Yeah.
like one of the last interactions with him.
Yeah.
Uh
And also you also latch on the things that the person like had, no? Like
yeah.
for my grandpa, it's always his clothes. So my
Mm,
grandpa like took all like his clothes.
mm,
So he's always wearing them. Especially
oh,
pag may occasion kami, let's say
yeah,
birthday ng dad ko,
yeah.
anniversary nila, he always wears them. It's really hard to look at him kasi ano
Like,
eh.
crying tears. That-
No, but because he's always crying.
Oh, until
It's
now?
so hard, yeah. Until
Oh man.
now. It's been
Oh
3 years,
man.
right?
Yeah.
I was surprised that it was him who really was super
Well,
like
if it was 2019, Wuks, isn't it like 2 years?
2 years. No,
Yeah.
yeah, 2 years. I think
Two and
magti
then two
three
next.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he it's really bad. Like every time my family gathering, he would cry in the corner
Oh man.
every time up until now.
Does your dad have any siblings?
Yeah, they're five.
Is your
Lima
dad
sila.
like
My
a
dad,
favorite or something?
no.
But you said he
It's
was like
really
the
weird,
glue,
by the
right?
way. My dad, not I'm not saying the black sheep, but my dad was not really neglected, pero parang for him it was like he was the hardworking one. During their
Mm,
era, di ba, their time,
mm.
like the kid should always like, follow this and that, do this and that. So
Your
siya
dad was
lagi
like,
yung nagpapaubaya, basically.
okay.
So I remember stories sa dad ko na out of like the five, siya lagi yung gigising ng maaga to like go to the
Mm,
market.
oh,
Siya yung magdadrive sa mom ko. To
ba
the
yung
like
kuya? Or,
no, he's like the second. May kuya pa na
oh,
isa.
okay.
So like siya yung I remember there was a story. This is how this is how unselfish my dad is. Na cuz they're not that super rich and they had like, four other kids.
Mm,
My dad, they went to the mall to
mm,
eat and to
mm.
shop. My dad said, or parang he was okay to stay in the car and wait para makapag-shopping sila so that he won't spend and that they would spend,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So parang siya talaga yung kuya. Yung dalawa niya kasing kapatid na like the fourth and the fifth child, they're not really like, they were not like super well off in life. They were really like, they don't have like regular jobs.
Mm.
Parang nagtayo sila ng studio, ng dance studio. I don't know if the other siblings supported, but I remember like immediately when they said the proposition to my dad was like, "Yeah, go for it." And he supported them with money.
Mhm.
Whereas like other people would be like, "Why would you pursue that? That's not a regular job."
Yeah. Like he
Right?
just super support. He was so
My
support.
dad just say, "Go, shoot for your dream."
Yeah.
Right? So he was really the kuya. He was really like the glue. So like now every time magkakaroon ng family gathering, my lolo, I guess, I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe he regrets in life. Maybe he took him for granted. I can't tell,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
But all I know is every time my family gathering, he's always crying in the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And my asshole cousins, not really asshole, but like, parang they made it a joke for him to laugh. Na parang, oh,
Oh,
yan, iyak na naman si Papa, iyak na naman si
Oh
Papa.
no.
And then
Oh
Lolo, and
no.
then Lolo would be like, uy, hindi ako umiiyak. Oh. Sabi ko, "Oh."
My good
ang
naman.
gago, dude. But
Yeah.
That sounded
I
so
mean,
bad.
yeah, pero for him, it's parang, it's a way for him to like laugh, and then parang
At
to get
least.
him off the
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah, at
I
least he can
remember,
joke about it now.
yeah, I remember nung
So funny,
nung,
gago.
kasi yung birthday ni
No.
Daddy is March 13th. So nung 50th ba niya, 49th birthday, nagpag-gather kami sa bahay. Tapos, nagpicture kami, lahat kami nakangiti, pati si Mama. Kasi it's a celebration of life.
Mm. Mm.
My lolo was like crying in the corner. He got bullied na parang, oh, yun tuloy pa, pangit yung tignan kasi umiiyak kayo. Di ba? But for some reason, hey, it works. Like,
Yeah.
parang they
That
laugh it
kind
off.
of,
You
yeah,
know,
kind of tough.
it breaks the parang, I
Mm.
should have, the emotion.
Yeah.
That's why I think yung girlfriend ko is very, when I make jokes about my dad, it's very weird for them. And I'm like, I can make this joke
Mm.
because, but for them, it's very weird. But for me, it's parang, I don't know, it parang, I guess in a sense, desensitizes me. Or
Yeah. No,
parang,
I have a
you get what
friend
I
like
mean?
that then, who also lost his dad relatively early, and there are times that he just joke like mga dank jokes to himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I, which like because we're really close, but I still I don't I know that he's doing it to it helps him, so
Yeah.
I just let
Parang
him.
it's funny if I make that joke, but it's not funny if other people make
Yeah,
that joke to
it's
me.
like
I
yeah,
can do it because it
yeah,
happened to me. And
yeah.
parang,
But no one else, none of us like joke around
yeah,
about it, but he would just joke to himself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Parang ngayon, it became like, parang, they just laugh it off. But
yeah.
ayun, I think yun nga, again, my lola was the one that took it really bad. Imagine, like, it's really hard kasi I look like my dad. Especially
Mm,
now with long hair and then wearing
yeah.
his clothes.
Oh,
Parang may
your dad
one
has
time,
long hair.
yeah,
Oh,
he kind of, not really super long, but
yeah,
like,
but
pre-pandemic,
he's
it
that kind
was,
of he's that kind of
mm,
guy. Yeah. Face to
nakatalikod
face,
ako.
likes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, my lola almost cried and almost shouted Joel because my dad's name is Joel or Jojo. Nakatalikod ako, tapos naka-t-shirt niya ako, and
Mm,
my body was the same build
mm,
as him when he,
mm,
nagulat ako, like my auntie was like crying and my lola was crying and I turned around, I'm like, what the hell? And they were like, you literally look like your dad standing, like nakatayo, and they were like,
yeah.
okay, shit, that's hard. That's hard for
Mm,
me. Like,
mhm,
I can't live up to my dad. I'm not my dad, and
mm. Oh,
sometimes I
you're
just
not
have
your
to like,
dad.
sometimes I just have to hug it out for them.
Mm,
Kasi parang they think of me
that's good.
as
Mm,
like, parang, second Jojo. Oh,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
weird, and really,
Jo- the next JoJo, parang
Mm.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure na yun.
Yeah. But yeah, ayun.
I just heard you sigh really loud.
Oh, God.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Um, It's very
Yeah.
interesting how people deal with grief
Yeah.
in different but also sometimes similar ways.
I'm actually I'm very lucky because I mean, as you said, yung lolo mo, like you had to see him. I mean, of course, one of my regrets was not being able to say goodbye to my
Yeah,
dad.
that was
Right,
tough.
that
Mm.
ate me up a lot. But then, it kind of as at the same time, me seeing my dad in a state like that and saying goodbye is really hard. That's gonna be harder,
Yeah, that
right?
yeah.
Yun yung iniisip namin ng mom ko, like, what if, right?
Yeah.
What if nabuhay siya? What's his state? Is he like, he's
Mm,
gonna be in a wheelchair, bound to a bed,
mm,
right? I kind of, I guess I was saved na I wasn't able to experience yung seeing the person
yeah.
saying goodbye, knowing that they're just living in like a machine. No, I think in a sense that's harder to deal with
Dude.
because they're clinging on to life and there's nothing
Mm.
you can do.
Dude, when my sister, because we're like 13 cousins, right? So a bunch of us visited. But when my sister, had her one-on-one with Lolo, she sang to him and then talked to him. And then
Mm-hmm.
they noticed like tears started forming in his eyes. Like he started like tearing up while he was
Mm-hmm.
like unconscious. So maybe he did like really hear, like he would hear us when
Yeah,
he heard my sister.
yeah. They
Grabe.
probably did. Kasi ano because like right now with the situation, we've had other family members go then.
Mm,
Like tita ng mom ko, it was really hard for me. I just kept quiet because I don't know what they're dealing with because I've not close and I've not interacted with
mm,
the tita. But for them, they parang that tita brought them to where they are right now.
mm,
So that's why I said into Kaelen, I'm open to talk about this because I know other people have it rougher than me
mm,
because they died of other reasons and there are a lot of restrictions. They can't even see them. They can't even make a proper burial
and
or
sometimes like the death also leaves them financially like
yeah, exactly. Like yung tita ko, like what's sad is that they had to decide, like the family had to decide to get her off the machine because she's in pain.
mm,
Kasi yung nangyari sa kanya, I mean, it's tumor in the brain. Like they had to remove her half of her brain.
mhm,
And so she got strong, like your lolo. Then she got really strong. Like she
mm,
started eating, started nodding. But then the doctor said, "Oh well, yeah, she's strong, but she won't survive the other operations that we're gonna do to her.
mm,
So you're left with the choice na, let's proceed. You're gonna deal with the expenses, but like life, like the percentage of her surviving is really, really, really low.
mhm,
And I think like with the people that are dealing with the same thing as her, like my,
mm.
like yung katulad ng situation na nangyari sa tita ko. I think that's harder because the life of the person is on your hands.
Yeah, it's a dilemma.
Yeah, and then like because the person can decide for
Mm,
themselves because
mhm,
they're parang yung inexplain ng doctor, yes, she's conscious but it's all cognitive na lang. She can process things but she can move.
mm,
So it's hard. Parang that's like an adult decision that I am I'm happy that I didn't make or
mm,
I was not put in that position or
mhm,
my mom because I think that would have been a harder pill to swallow. And I think for the people out there who's experiencing or who has experienced this, like going through that, man, you're one hell of a person. You're one strong person, and I commend you for that, dude. That shit's insane to deal with. That's like nightmares for months, for years, dude. Because you're always gonna deal with the what if he survived,
mm.
diba? What if he can come back? And I think that's really that's a bitch to deal with. Sorry for
Yeah.
the language, but yeah, for the lack of better term.
Dude, grabe naman tong pabigat mga topic
I'm
natin
sorry.
dito, man.
Deep breaths. Hinga, deep breaths. Short break.
Yeah.
30-second break.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh,
when you were
actually,
like, sorry, Kaelen.
let's go with like a question that we got from chat. What are
Let's go.
your favorite memories to go back to about your loved ones who've passed away?
Favorite memory.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Okay, I'll just take one. What's my favorite? Can it be like I'll start with actually I have two. One is a collective memory of like my family with my dad.
Hive mind.
Yeah. It's all our yung very okay, yung I forgot that in the context of like my family pala or like yung mga magkakapatid
Yeah.
niya. 2017 kasi was the last Christmas party that my dad attended here in the Philippines.
Mm,
It was
Oh.
very hard for him kasi he worked abroad. So every
Yeah.
Christmas, lagi siyang nasa abroad. It was always camera. So they were very happy na 2017 na nag-Christmas dad ko dito. We're all together, like the whole
Yeah.
family. Come 2018, nagkagalit yung panganay tsaka yung pangatlo. Like there's a family problem. Nagkagalit. They weren't talking to each other. And so yung Christmas party was just between our small, like us, the immediate. Kami ng mom, dad ko. And then 2019, he died. Right? So, parang for them na they were really sad na parang we could have spent the Christmas last year. Yeah, one more Christmas if it weren't for like a silly, misunderstanding. Right?
Yeah.
Tapos, nung namatay si daddy, what I love about it is, or what a good thing that came out of it is, since my dad was really the glue, when my dad died, it became a reality check for them. Apat na lang kayo. Are you still gonna fight still?
Yeah.
Like, the day that my dad died, they dropped everything. Wala. Parang, they
Yeah.
became a closer
Good.
family. Yeah. And so yung, like, kasi yung favorite memory namin ni dad was during that 2017 Christmas party. So, sorry. Alam mo ano nga yung sikat na dance, basta there's a famous dance. Yung
Fortnite,
The Running Man ata? I don't remember. I think The
yeah.
Running Man.
Okay.
Yeah, the Christmas party, my dad was a dancer kasi. So, they were just dancing and then my dad was just doing The Running Man in the middle of everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone was
So
smiling.
funny.
And he was the center
Yeah.
of
He
the
seems like a
video.
really cool guy. Yeah, your dad.
Yeah, he is. And so for them, that was like, you can see like pure happiness. Just that still video. And if you tell them their favorite memory or like their last the last favorite memory of daddy was, they'll always say that. Pero for me personally, I think yung favorite memory ko ng dad ko was when I saw him when we went looking for his favorite bike. Kasi mahilig siya sa bike, he's a bike guy. And my mom really hated that kasi
Bike
nga,
as in motorcycles.
motorcycle, yeah. Because he got he got into an accident,
Yeah.
right?
But he's also a cyclist, right? He said.
Yeah. So he really likes bikes. Shit, I still have the photo.
What kind
Let
of
me
bike
check.
is it? I know a little bit about motorcycles.
Oh god, I trying to remember. Wait lang. I know. Let me just look at it real quick.
Yeah,
I know
go
I
ahead.
have favorite photos of my dad.
There's a time I considered buying a motorcycle, pero too expensive. I just bought a
I don't know what
bicycle.
is this, like a Yamaha? What's like a good? Ano nga yung sikat? Ducati. It's a Ducati.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show a picture of my dad. Hopefully, chat can see
Number?
this. I'll show it through my camera.
Mhm.
You see it? He's riding a bike.
Oh, the monster.
Oh, you
Ducati
know
monster.
this one?
That's the monster.
Yeah, it was just one of his favorite bikes, and he was able to test drive it around Alabang, and he was really really happy. Like his smile is just like,
Aw,
alam mo
yeah.
yun, my dad was a simple man. He never buys things for himself.
Mm.
And then he really wanted to get this bike, and he was just, the smile on his face was just,
Yeah. Aw.
and he was like talking about it like, oh my god, muntik na ako mabangga kasi pag rev down niya yung bike umangat, and he was like, this shit's crazy. And it was,
Really?
Yeah, I was getting a video of him and he was driving around.
Oh, did
And
he go
then,
to Ducati Alabang in Commerce
mm,
Center? Oh,
yes.
okay, cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm from Alabang, so I know that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Diba?
Cool.
It's like in a small strip and then it's just
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then
Wow.
we were like, my dad was just, and then my mom was like, "Oh my god, that's 500,000." And my dad was like, "I'm gonna
Dude.
pay for it. I'm gonna work hard." And so like we had, because we don't have the money, we're not like that rich, right?
Mm.
So he got in contact with like, because there was a guy there, and he really saw that my dad was really a
Yeah.
bike enthusiast.
Enjoying.
Yeah, and then they gave him a calling card na parang, "Hey, I have a second hand bike na ganyan din, but
Nice.
like the mileage is not that, I don't know." So I don't know, they came, nag-usap sila, and we were actually supposed to buy the bike, right?
Mm. Yeah.
And he even had the, yung binili niya, he got the full gear, dude. Kasi he couldn't buy the bike, he got the full gear, jacket, helmet, everything else.
Ducati din.
Yeah. Like he had to
I
like
love
massage
it.
my
I
mom sa
love it.
arms. Alam mo yun? He
He got
had
the
to
grip.
like, yeah, dude, he had to massage my mom na parang, "Oy,
What
I love
tayo?
you so much." Alam mo yun?
He got the
That's
drip,
my,
dude.
yeah, dude, that's my favorite memory of my dad, because I think that that day he was just super, super extremely happy.
Yeah, and he really
That,
he's willing to spend on himself for once.
yeah, for once.
Treat
Like,
yourself.
and I was really happy, and I was telling my mom, just buy it.
Yeah.
It's his happiness.
Hello.
It's the first time, just buy it.
Yeah.
So ayun. But sadly, it never happened. Never got the bike. Pero yun, that's my one of
Are
my
you
favorite memory
interested
of my
in
dad.
riding motorcycles?
No, but at a time I kind of wanted to, but then I said to myself, is this really what I want to do, or am I just reaching for like a memory of my dad,
I see.
right?
That's good
Am
to
I
know.
just reaching na parang I want to connect with my dad more, right? But then I realized na no, I'm afraid of blood. I don't want to get like
Yes.
maaksidente. Like it can never.
But just if you're open to it, because like I don't ride motorcycles now, but I did take motorcycle lessons with my dad in
He
Honda.
signed me up. He signed me up sa
There,
Ducati.
yeah,
The
I also did like a 1 day thing in
Diba?
Ducati.
Diba?
Yeah,
They had like a thing. Yeah,
yeah.
but I never went. Never went.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Well, it's like
someday.
it's fun to learn. It's fun to learn. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to like buy a motorcycle, but it's fun to learn to ride a motorcycle.
Maybe like one day when I'm
Yeah,
like older and have my own money, because we're
yeah.
kind of in a.
Mhm.
But yeah, for
Now you're
sure, for
Ducati,
sure.
dude.
Dude,
I
yeah.
mean, it's like I like how the bike looks, but I don't know, like I'm not like
Oh,
a
Ducati is
enthusiast.
so expensive then. But
Yeah, exactly. Like that shit's like
but
it
if you're
looks
like
really
aim
good.
for like normal motorcycle lessons, Honda nga
Honda.
in
Sige.
Bikutan, the safety driving center. It's like 2K lang for like a weekend or something like that, or a couple weekends, and then you'll learn how to ride a motorcycle. It's
Sige.
fun.
I'll take note of that, because
You can
that's like a
drop
life
the
skill
motorcycle.
then.
It's fine. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
chill. It's
Harley
um
Davidson, dude.
Harley
Hey,
Davidson.
actually, yes, that's a bike that I love. But people give me shit for liking that bike or
Why?
that brand.
It's a chopper.
Right? Like you can like
Pero
you can just sit dude.
Harley Davidson's not doing so well now. They're making their bikes look more like
Yes.
Modern.
in
Really?
more
Yeah.
modern na.
Bro,
Hey,
I have gotten a lot of
come
shit
on,
from people
man.
saying, "Why are you liking that weird ass looking bike?" I'm like, dude, you're sitting and you're
I
like
do
Oh.
like
badass,
cruiser
dude.
bikes though.
It's full comfort compared to. It's actually more comfortable to ride a Harley Davidson than to ride a Ducati.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the motorcycle, if I were to buy one, the one that I would buy, it's called the Honda Rebel. Have you seen
Honda
it?
Rebel.
Honda
Is that
Go
Rebel.
is this
Let me
is this
Honda
the? It looks like
Google.
a Davidson, right?
Cruiser.
The
Yeah, it's
Davidson.
like a
Mm,
cruiser
yeah.
bike. It's more relaxed.
Uh,
I like those kind of
see.
bikes. Over the
Oh.
like sporty
Rebel
ones.
500, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rebel 500. Looks nice,
Yeah,
no?
I was looking into this.
Dude,
Yung isa ding magandang bike, well, I don't think
that's like
available siya here. Pero
300K.
yung yung bike ni Keanu Reeves.
He has many bikes. Which one?
No, like the company that he owns.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know? He has
Yeah, yeah. I've
his
seen a
own
video on
company that
him.
make bikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Custom shit. Good. Like I was never a car guy, but like after I took motorcycle lessons like years ago, like I was like, I can appreciate motorcycles,
Yeah.
I could get into that over cars.
Yeah.
Because like you can see all the stuff.
Yeah,
Car
my
seems
dad
so
was always been a very vehicle type of guy. Like he did ano, kasi one of his cousins actively participates in like yung mga monster truck races or whatnot.
monster
Alam mo,
truck race.
yeah, yung may mga truck na parang dirt truck.
Yeah. But then and
Yeah.
then the cars.
Hmm.
Wow, where do you do that? In the Philippines
The
or is it,
Philippines, sa
what?
Binangonan meron.
We have that?
Like Quezon meron.
Wow, I didn't know we had that. That's so
One of like the funny memories is ano, my dad rode one. Um,
like the monster truck thing.
yeah, the monster truck, and he like drove it, but he didn't finish. Kasi, well, it's different to drive those monsters,
Uh,
and he got stuck in a dip, and then the truck
Hindi na
like tumagilid.
oh my god.
Tapos naipit yung daliri niya sa manibela. But yeah, dude, that like he's into like those types of sport. Very,
Okay. Wow, a very extreme guy.
yeah, I think may trophy pa siya dito somewhere in the house for like
Really.
participation.
Did your dad ever skateboard? Or no?
Yes.
I'm
Your
not
He's the
dad's a
type of
cool
guy.
surprised.
kid. Your dad's a cool
I'm
kid.
not
Compared
surprised. dude.
compared to me, my dad's a cool kid. Like I swear to God, Batangas City is not that big, but everybody knows my dad.
Yeah.
Like
Galing.
everybody. Punta kami sa mall. Uy, Joel, kamusta ka na? Kasi ano siya eh, sikat siya nung high school kasi he was a dancer. And he like,
JoJo's World, dude, and we're just like,
JoJo's World.
Jojo's World.
He participated in like, tawag dito, local TV shows, mga dance contests.
okay.
So, yung mga ibang dancers sa Batangas, kilala yung group ni Daddy as like one of the best. So, kilala siya sa Batangas
Gotta
compared to
mean
me.
ocho ocho.
He actually has may mga VHS recordings sila when they participated sa
Oh,
GMA.
galing.
That's
Galing.
cool.
Mhm.
Dude, your dad's such a cool guy.
Yeah, my dad's cool. I'm not.
I'm glad you have all these like, memories of him.
Yeah, I mean,
It's cool. It's like I'm getting to know him from your
yeah,
story.
Yeah.
diba? It's really fun. I
Meron
mean,
Meron tayong
as
local races, by the way. Like
huh?
We have
rally
races?
driving. Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
Rally
Rally?
driving. Yeah,
Wow.
We do.
I have rally driving in Philippines. Pero discontinued ata siya for now because of, COVID.
COVID.
Wait, but, like,
Yeah.
one of our previous guests, si Lexus, he used to shoot for like the companies that would hold mga races like that's a racetracks.
Mhm.
Pero hindi siya like rally but I forget what it's called. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things then what you're saying na parang my dad's really cool. It's one of those things then na when someone passes away, like just everybody just talks about the good stuff. So I think it's my dad's just somewhat cool and then people like overhyped him. Not overhyped, but like talks like they talk about him a lot because and so he becomes way more cooler. Like these stories come up. I
Magiging
never
legend.
I never knew. Yeah, I never knew like some of the stories of my dad, and then like these people like
Mhm.
would tell stories. So which is what I love. So I kind of got to know my dad a bit more during his high school days
Mhm.
because of like people coming and going. Like I'm so surprised. Like yung libing ni daddy, I think it's a week. I think it's a week ata or a couple of days. Ang daming pumunta. But people that I have never met or my mom have never met,
Wow.
right? But kilala ng mga lola ko kasi like, I don't know, school, friends of friends. And I'm
Yeah.
like, holy shit. This guy knows a lot of people.
Guy was
Sobrang
loved.
dami niyang connections. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then that's when I've kind of realized, oh shit, my dad's kind of like a badass. So like the stories are very appreciated, which I like. Na parang, whenever things like these happen, people are like very parang like just getting together and talking about the person. Like it's really nice. It really helps. It really helps. Anyway, Kaelen, did we answer your question earlier?
That was a long answer to yeah, but
What was
did.
Kalen's question? Oh, the
Favorite.
guy. Oh, no.
Favorite
memory,
memory.
of the loved ones that have passed.
How about you, my friend?
Mag-share ka na, Diero.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, he's a funny guy in his own way. Like one thing I really remember him for is like when we'd be eating together, and then when I'd eat a lot, it's like I'd have a big appetite, especially before. He'd always say, "Sakit atang ngipin ni Diero." He'd always say that. Like you know, joke. Every time, like when the food's good, and then like family lunch, or the food's good, and I'm eating, and then he'll just say, "Sakit atang ngipin ni Diero." Like everyone else is there, but he'll always say, "Sakit atang ngipin ni Diero." And then when I was younger, like he used to call me Jero Pajero. Like
Oh,
he
that's a
he
cute
thought, yeah,
nickname.
he thought of that nickname for me, Jero Pajero.
Nice.
But yeah, I was closer. I'm closer to Lola, I would say, but you know,
Mhm.
because Lola was like a lot more chill and all that. But you know, he had those moments like whenever we'd have like when New Christmas or New Year's, he'd always sing sa karaoke. He liked singing My Way. And
Oh
Mhm.
my god, the
Ah, the
classic, the
famous
yeah,
classic.
song, the
yeah,
classic.
and things like that.
Classic.
So it's nice that we have a lot of videos of him singing
Mhm.
karaoke and stuff.
Mhm. The classic
Yeah,
My
that's
Way.
nice. And dude, there's a time where he offered he just I think he really wanted to learn to play the piano when he was younger, but he never got to. So he
Mhm.
asked me and my sister, because we were the ones that would stay here in the house, so that's why he asked us if we wanted to take piano lessons. And then some lady in the village near ours was offering piano lessons, so he paid for piano lessons for a while. And then he was so excited that we were taking piano lessons without without even telling Lola. He bought a baby grand piano. Like one day, like I remember I was
Just
working
there.
out, and then these guys just arrived carrying a baby grand piano. We didn't even know where to put it. Then Lola was panicking because she didn't know where we were gonna put that huge thing. It's a baby grand, but it's still big.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I don't really regret things in life, pero one of the things I wish I did, because yung piano teacher ko, he became a flight attendant.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So he left, and the replacement teacher they got, like that the lady in the village got, because there are like several piano teachers that work for her. I didn't like him, so I stopped my lessons. So one of the things I guess,
Ouch.
you know, I don't know if I regret, but sayang din na I wish I continued my piano lessons. Like I never really got to finish learning a song that I could play for Lolo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have like two photos pa. Like there's time when I'd practice a lot, and then Lolo would just go down, stay with me in the living room, and then to listen. And then a few minutes later, he's just sleeping. So I'd always take a photo. I'm on the piano, the selfie. It's behind me. It's Lolo, just sleeping lang. Tapos kita yung pinag-usapan niya. Yung his pajamas. And then I have like a couple photos of that, like
Yeah.
different occasions. And yeah, he's sweet that way, you know? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I miss him. Like, but the funny thing is, like when my sister and I talk about him, it's always like he's not gone. Cause yun,
Yeah.
like my lola is in Nasugbu in Batangas. So it always feels like when I think of him, like, oh, Lola's just there in Nasugbu. But I
Yeah.
guess it's like if I were to visit and then I see that he's not there, I guess that's
Yeah.
that's where it's gonna hit
Yeah.
talaga. But yeah, like recently my cousin stay some of my cousins stay with my lola. My cousin like graduated over Zoom or whatever. And but you know, they dressed up and then they had the family photo. The cousin, his parents, and then my lola. And then I saw the photo and I was like, parang may kulang, parang someone's missing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm not used to like when it's a family photo and it's just lola and lola's
Yeah.
not there.
Mhm.
Maybe he was just asleep. He didn't wake up for the photo or something.
Speaking of
Mm,
which, yung sinabi mo sa lola mo na, oh, he's just there.
yeah.
I had the same, actually kami din, like
He's
a
just in
couple of,
Laos.
yeah, it's just in Laos. Parang, before, alam mo, when we haven't really fully accepted it, na parang, oh, parang nasa abroad lang si Jojo.
Yeah.
Alam mo yun, parang
He's
ganon.
saving up for his monster.
Yeah. Where's Monster,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of which, Father's Day malapit na Father's Day.
Dude, yeah.
How are
Ooh,
you
it's gonna
gonna,
be a doozy. I don't. Oh, dude, you know what's my Lola's birthday in 2 days? And Sunday's.
yeah,
No,
how are you
Sunday
gonna,
Father's Day is my Lola's birthday also, the 13th.
yeah, how are you gonna,
I'm just gonna cry, I guess. And,
Alright.
nah,
yeah,
I don't know. I think we have a family Zoom thing. I'll see.
mhm,
But no, kasi sure, it's also my birthday, like 2 days
yeah,
after.
Star
I'll
Wars
be
Day.
working on
It's
my
also
birthday.
your birthday.
It's almost my birthday then. So I'm actually gonna see my girlfriend this Sunday
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
because I haven't seen her in a long time. But
Nice.
I might also have a Zoom thing with my
Mm-hmm.
my
Okay.
family.
Yeah.
Your other girlfriend.
My other girl.
Wait.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
Oh,
No
I'm just
clips, no
kidding.
clips.
good thing my girlfriend doesn't watch the podcast. Doing something else. She doesn't support my endeavors.
Yeah. Speaking of
Right.
ano pala, I know I'm the guest. Is it okay if I ask a question?
Go lang.
Yeah, go
Our
ahead.
guests like to do that.
Yeah,
It's
they
okay
do.
if you ask. Yeah. Thank you for being
No,
fun. No,
like
yeah. Go.
no, like coming back.
Mm.
Regrets. It's medyo deep, but like oh, like you said na well like is the piano thing your only regret with in terms of your
With
sa
Lolo.
lolo? Yes.
It would have been nice to get to know him more, Because
Mm.
yeah, like it's honestly there's I wasn't super close to him, but he was
Mm.
always there. Like I would see him a lot. And we'd talk a bit. Like, he'd ask me like how's work. Back when I
Yeah.
was teaching the preschool. That's one of the things then like because the preschool closed down because of the pandemic. So for a while I didn't have a job. Pero when I was in our house in Batangas, because Lolo was, I think at that point still comatose.
Mm-hmm.
I was applying to this new job. So my first job since losing the preschool teaching thing. And I really liked it. It was like like the concept of the job like was something that really resonated with me. And I just somehow I got the job, spoiler alert, but I already felt like I was gonna get it. And I was just thinking, wow, this is actually something I would love to make kwento to Lolo, but I don't have the chance to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad na nung Christmas, it was nice nung Christmas. I got to spend it with him pa. And he got to meet our dog Mowgli as turning 10 months. So, but nung Christmas, Mowgli was like younger. And Lola got to meet him. He has a cute photo where it's Lola, and they were holding Mowgli. He's a little French
Mm-hmm.
bulldog. And then
No.
sakto when they snapped the photo, Mowgli was like starting to lick Lola. So like Lola like made a face, and then Mowgli, and then ganda. And I think and then saw my sister's phone. And so I love that photo, and I'm glad that he got to meet Mowgli. So like like so when I see him, I also think of Lolo because Mowgli, because French bulldog, so he also looks like an old guy. So I just hang out with him. Um, yeah. But no, in Christmas, there's a time where the whole family was like in the main area, but I wanted to stay away from that. I just went to Lolo's room. I brought my food there, and I just ate with Lolo, and I just stayed with him. Like we didn't really
Mm-hmm.
talk about anything, but it was just me, Lolo, and my other cousins, three of us, in the room. And it was nice, like just accompany him there. Yes, and his room smells like him, right? So it'll
Mm.
be weird. Like the
Yeah.
next time I go there, it won't smell like him anymore. You know, one thing like my dad did, like when you were staying in our house there for the wake and stuff, my dad didn't bring enough clothes. So he was like,
Mm-hmm.
Diero, can you get a shirt from Lola's room? And he just wore like one of Lola's like plain white shirts that he would wear as pantulog. And I was like, wow, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, like I don't have clothes anymore. I'll just wear my recently deceased
Mm-hmm.
family members' clothes. Like, I wonder how my dad did that without like bursting into
Yeah.
tears. I guess he really
Yeah.
just needed a shirt. But yeah.
The
Uh,
need for a shirt weighs more than
mm,
the
yeah.
emotional pain.
But yeah, and like in terms, going back to the question of regrets, like it's been nice to get to know him more. Pero crazy, like I got to know more of like his accomplishments because he he was like a congressman before and mayor and all that, and like big
Oh,
shoes to fill,
yeah.
big shoes to fill, and he did a lot of good work actually for for Batangas and for Nasugbu. And like have you heard of Kaibiyang Tunnel, the tunnel that connects Cavite
Yes,
to
yes.
Nasugbu, right? And a lot of motorcycles and cyclists take a photo there for some
Yeah.
reason. This the view kasi of the ocean from there is nice, but they take a photo with a tunnel, which is it's just a tunnel. I don't know why you take a photo. Anyway, apparently it was like part of his like masteral thesis though of like connect he was planning to connect talaga I don't think he's the one that really funded the tunnel being made, but back when he was a congressman, he was already thinking of a way to connect Cavite to Nasugbu.
Oh shit,
And
dude, that would have
so
been
it just
insane.
yeah, so it was like it's the like parang siya yung nag-start ng idea of doing that. And
Inception.
yeah. So galing lang na because
That's
I
cool.
know yeah, the lolo I know he's chill, doesn't really doesn't say much. But
Yeah.
at one point when he was younger, like more youthful, like he really had plans to like make big good change and galing lang. Like I'm proud of him. Uh sayang lang na part of me wants to reach a point where, I'm sure he was proud of me too to an extent, but like
Mm-hmm.
well, I wanted him to see me reach my full potential. Like I really thought
Same. Hard same.
I really didn't expect na I really thought na Lolo would it's weird because Lolo's old but I really thought he would be there when I was already gonna when I'd get married. Like I thought he'd still be there. It never crossed
Yeah.
my mind that he wasn't gonna be here enough for like big for my big life moments, for my other milestones. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yun din eh. One of my parang I yung one of like my goals in life was to pag nagkasweldo ako, lilibre ko sana yung dad ko.
Yeah.
And parang yung isa sa mga regrets ko is that not really regret but parang one thing that bugged me then is that when I hindi kasi siya nakatapok sa stage nung gumraduate ako nung high school
Mm.
kasi nasa ibang bansa siya.
Yeah.
So he never got the experience of, putting a medal on his kid. So yun din, parang when I
College time.
graduate, he's not there, right? Tapos yung isa pa is when I get married, that's right.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I'm gonna have to deal with in the future. I may not like feel it now, but when I get there, when I'm about to get married, that's something that I have to deal with again.
Mhm.
Kailan
Married.
natin?
Married.
Married.
Yeah,
Mm.
but like anyway, but yeah, one of like I guess one of my regrets is that parang on like the feed like di ba Wednesday to Friday nangyari yun. Tinawagan niya ako ng Friday morning or Friday afternoon. I don't know if he was yun yung isa sa din sa that's why I can never open my WhatsApp because I could see the call logs. My dad called me 3 times. But I was in class, so I didn't answer.
It's not your fault though. I hope you never
Yeah.
called
Mhm.
home.
Yeah, I know, but then up until
Yeah,
now,
but still.
I don't have the guts to
Yeah.
open my WhatsApp because it's there.
May voice logs ba yun? Like
No,
voice recording?
but I can see the call logs of. Well, nung
Yeah.
Wednesday, it was weird nung Wednesday kasi parang nag-away kami ng mom ko about something minor lang. And then my dad gave me a long message that I don't want to read.
You haven't read
It's
it
still
yet.
there. It
No, I
just
read it,
oh.
but it's kind of
I
like
want to read it again.
para siya hindi niya inintend siguro to mean it that way. Pero when I read it when he died, para siya nagpapaalam. Parang alam mo yung huling pasabi.
Yeah.
Parang JV, kailangan ganito ka, kailangan ganyan, tandaan mo ganyan.
Yeah.
That's why I don't wanna open it.
Does he
Kasi
send
makikita
you long messages like that? Would he send
every
you
now
that?
and then, parang kasi nga malayo siya, he doesn't know what's happening
Yeah.
here. So ayun, maybe sometimes he's worried about me.
Yeah.
But then I don't wanna open. I'm gonna
Yeah,
move my phone. I mean,
It's okay.
You
It's
put it in
okay.
your phone
Okay.
away.
It just hits
Yeah.
different, knowing
Read
what
it
Yeah.
on stream.
It's like it's a text.
Yeah.
But like every time na I'd see the call logs, like missed call. I think it's 3 or I don't even remember because I don't want to open it again. It's not that I don't want to deal with it, but I don't like that feeling, the feeling na alam mo yun, that it gives me. I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with that right now,
I don't think you have to.
right?
Do you think
But
you
then
have to at
there's
some point?
but the weird thing then at the back of my head, I can't seem to delete the app because I could just simply delete it.
But then all the stuff's gonna be gone.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't. I still have it
Maybe
in
you'll
my
read it.
phone.
You might be able to read it again one day.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But as of like now, with like 2 years, whenever I get that thought, I try to push it away.
Mm.
Because man, imagine if, I'd always go to that. Imagine if I talked to him. Maybe he could have said something to me. Kasi like, yun nga, di ba, I wasn't able to talk to him. It just
Yeah.
died on me. So, that's kind of like really, one of, I guess,
But
regrets.
but at least you have that message.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Pero
might
ayun.
guide you again someday in life.
Maybe. It's a life lesson. It's a life lesson. Even yung mom ko nga I advised her to not open WhatsApp. It's, if I read her WhatsApp, like, man, it's just
Mm.
painful.
Mm-hmm.
Like up until 2020, early 2020, she was still talking to my dad through WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just painful to read. It's just
Oh,
painful to read.
she messaged your dad.
She
Oh,
messages my dad on WhatsApp even though
dude.
he's dead.
You know what? Like earlier, I checked Facebook for my lolo, and then he's never added me pala on Facebook, but he's added everyone. I'm not Facebook friends with my lolo. He's like Facebook friends with everyone else. I was like, oh man, lolo never added me. But I
Yeah.
also never. I mean, I never added lolo, but dang,
Ano
dang
yun?
it. I can't see any of his shit because it's private.
Yeah.
May
Sad.
girlfriends ng lolo.
Sad.
Couldn't you get a legacy account? Let's not talk about that. It's fine.
But ayun. I think yun yung, for me, that's, I guess you could call regret. Is not picking up that phone call.
Mm.
Chat, chat. If your loved one calls you, answer it. Kahit ano mangyari. You never know. Right? Because I don't want, like, dealing with that because it's not like a family, parang it's not like a family thing that we have to deal with. It's my own personal thing that I have to deal with. It's that I never, kasi it's not that I let it ring. It's the first call I stopped it. I canceled it because I'm busy. I'm taking a
Mhm.
test.
But
And
he
in the back of
called
my mind, I'm like, I could talk to my dad later. He'll understand. He knows I'm in class. He knows my schedule. I canceled it. Put it aside. It rang. I just put it on, hinayaan ko lang. So it's like a personal thing that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. So far, it's parang I'm doing great. I'm not being hard on myself kasi parang, I didn't know what's happening.
Yeah,
I
you have
can't
no
be
idea, dude.
I can't be so hard on myself, but you can't shake the feeling na, it's a 50-50. You can't shake that feeling. It's
Yeah.
just you have to take it or no. So that's the regret.
Grabe.
Too dark, too dark. Let's go back to laughing. Let's go motorcycles.
Motorcycles
Yeah.
back to
It's,
Not
it's,
that
not,
it's
it's,
dark.
it's not too dark. It's not too
it's
dark.
actually
Real.
yeah.
It's just real.
Yeah.
It's really something that happens, man.
Reality. It's
Yeah, I'm
just
glad that
reality.
we're talking about stuff like this.
Mhm.
It actually also
Mhm.
helped me, dude. Thank you so much for deciding to choose this as your topic.
I got you, fam.
Grabe. Yeah, I didn't expect to relate so hard to this thing.
Mm.
Dude.
Tsaka, even like to the people in chat, I hope that I was able to give insight just a little bit. I know we're dealing with different things and you're dealing with it a bit differently, but it's my take on this. I hope that it helped a bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink water lang.
How do you feel after all that? After unloading all of this now?
Me?
Yeah.
Mm, how do I feel? I mean, I don't. I've done this before. Like I've talked to people before about what happened and my thoughts on it and how I've dealt with it. Because I've had friends
Mhm.
who've dealt with the same thing and they've asked, na parang, oh hey, what happened? How'd you deal with it? So I'm kind of like used to talking about it because a lot of people would. a lot of people will say na parang, oh my god, I'm so sorry for you, like making you talk about this. But like I'm at that point na parang, I've come to terms with it. So me talking about it is kind of I'm okay with it. It's parang just sharing and maybe being able to help. Kasi nga, as I've told earlier na parang when I was through that phase, like the grieving phase, I really felt alone. Like at one point I've told myself, oh my god, na parang how could anyone understand what I'm going through,
Mm.
right? I've shoved people away, not intentionally, but just because I'm at that mindset na nobody
Yeah,
can
you won't
understand what
get
I'm
it.
feeling. Yeah, you won't get it. You can't tell me it's gonna be okay. You've never dealt with this, right? But then you hear people talking about like, their own experiences, like similarities. So kind of helps. So parang for me, as long as I'm okay sharing with this, and if it helps you, then that's good. And then if you're just listening, then thank you for listening, and you know, for taking your precious time and listening to my story. So ayun, that's at least that's my take on, or that's how I'm feeling right now. And whenever people ask me to share a bit.
Okay. Well, we were expecting more of like, oh, I'm feeling much better now, and then we'll say, yeah, that's what they all say in the podcast. Just kidding. Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing
Wait,
that.
I saw chat. Baso ko. This is actually sorry. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw it. I mean it's fine. I got this SNR. You can buy this as SNR.
Ooh.
Not sponsored, by the
How
way.
how much liquid does that hold?
I don't know. May picture kami like this big. It's just one picture. It feels everything. I don't know the
Think it's a
exact
liter?
brand. Huh?
Do you think it's a liter or
It looks
A
like
liter and a half maybe?
700 ml.
ooh,
That's a
Yeah.
liter?
Like
okay na, pwede na.
yeah, cuz it's ano, it's very big to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Is it
Kasi
insulated?
this
That's
is
what she
ano,
said.
ilan ba
That's
to? Wait lang. I have another cup, like this cup.
oh, I like
Um
that. Looks like a solo cup.
yeah, actually this is a
Yeah,
drinking
Black solo
drinking
cup.
cup by the
It's a
way.
black solo cup.
It's a
It's a
black
drinking
solo.
cup kasi may ano siya, may liter siya of like how many.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah, it's a
then
Black
this
solo.
one is ano for work talaga. This is my mom's. Yung I have a gray one downstairs.
even for work. You need a special
No,
drinking
but
thing.
like it's heavy duty. It keeps
I
it cold. Like let's say
Oh.
Oh, like
for
when
the
you're
day,
traveling
I'll
and stuff. Yeah.
I see.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. We get you now. We
I'll
get you now.
oh my god, I'll put ice in it and like water.
Going to
It
work. Gotta get my work mug.
kahit hanggang the next day, it's still cold.
Oh wow.
And then there's a straw, but then I it's downstairs. I don't use it, but you can just drink off of like.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You
saving the
can buy the
environment.
SNR. I don't know the specific brand, but it comes in twos. I think it's 1,000 or 2,000 pesos. It
Alright.
comes in twos. So
Cat's
So it's
question got
basically
answered.
500 pesos.
yeah,
Nice,
basically.
Use
nice.
use code WUKS.
Oh my
Wuks.
god, I'm not sponsored. Hello, I'm not sponsored.
Buy one,
I'm really
take
thirsty
one.
person.
Oh,
SNR work
okay.
SNR work mug, and then it, like when you go to SNR, it says mug for work.
I don't know the
Wuks is
brand.
right. It's literally a mug for work.
Code WUKS.
Anyway, I hope that answers. What were you saying, Adina, Diero?
Well, just thanks for sharing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's not necessarily hard for you, it's still you're sharing a part of yourself, a very real
Mhm.
part of yourself.
Mhm.
Not just not this is our first time really meeting formally face
Mm-hmm.
to face.
Mhm.
You're also sharing with some strangers online. Jeez. Or
Mhm.
napashare din ako eh, but whatever. But yeah,
It's
but
all
thanks.
good.
It's really great to like learn, more about you, learn about your dad also. So- Seems like one of the coolest guys ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Agree,
sir.
agree.
Ano
Dude,
pa?
can
May gusto kang
no,
mag-share? Kaelen, gusto kang mag-share?
yeah.
I think we've talked a lot. We're almost hitting 2
Hmm.
hours.
Oh, jeez.
I can share a bit, like
Oh, yeah, if you
from
want.
Lolo.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So both my grandfathers died now, but then I still have memories of them. Medyo
Why?
like
What happened?
yung lolo ko sa mother's side, he's a Renaissance man. Like holy. Yeah, dude, like
Okay.
I remember I was learning the violin in high school.
Yeah.
So I have a violin. Then one day, like I was gonna try to practice the violin and nawawala siya. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, asan yung violin ko?" And then I hear someone playing the violin downstairs.
Yeah.
And it was my lolo. He was playing the violin. I didn't know he knew how to play the violin.
Eh, but
He did. He just played. Because usually what happens pag nandun ako sa baba is he would go down. He would be down there. He would be downstairs. He would be fixing some random stuff in the house. He would be either fixing the plumbing sa faucet, fixing the electric fan because it's broken, or he's fixing the lights. so like, or he's doing something in his workshop or whatever. Tapos I
how
didn't know
old
you.
were you when with
Huh?
this violin thing? How old were you?
High school, first year high school.
Wow.
Yeah. Tapos nagulat ako na he was interested in it and he knew how to play it. Like it's like, whoa. I didn't know my lolo knew how to play the
Mm,
violin. Like
galing.
like what else did I not know, right?
Yeah.
So yun yung like part of the conversation, the regrets. Like I didn't know him much. Tapos I remember him having an argument with my titas na so sinasabi niya na siya yung nanlibre ng Jollibee kasi
Mm,
siya yung nagbayad.
mm,
Pero sinasabi ng tita ko na yung tito ko from abroad yung naglibre ng Jollibee kasi babayaran niya naman daw si lolo. So
mm.
so so umakyat sila sa akin to try and settle kung sino ba yung tama. Sabi ko, si lolo yung tama kasi siya yung nagbayad. So siya yung nanlibre ng Jollibee.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ang nangyari, nangutang lang si tito sa
Sa
kay
lolo mo.
lolo. Oo.
Yeah.
So, si lolo talaga yung nagbayad ng Jollibee. Tapos
Damn.
nagalit sila sa akin kasi nag-side ako yun ako.
Dude, that's the day you decided to take philosophy in college.
Yeah.
I mean, man, you're just spitting facts, bro. What the hell? Why
Yeah.
gotta be mad?
Now, yun yung mga favorite memories ko sa lolo ko. Tapos, he usually doesn't come up kasi, nahihirapan na siya maglakad ganun. He has a walking stick when he
Yeah.
goes out. And
Good.
usually in the morning, he would walk to the bakery to buy pandesal. Like early morning walk na lang. So, lagi pag morning, may fresh hot pandesal kami. Tapos, ayun. So, the other lolo naman, who was like, I don't know what he was in Tondo, but then, pag sa Tondo kasi, yung itsura ng area namin sa Tondo, it kind of looks like the slums. But then, out of the slums, we have this 5-floor building in the
Oh
middle.
my god. Yeah, your lolo's like a mafia boss or
That
something.
was ours, dude. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? How ano yung role namin? Ba't may ganun kaming building? Tapos pag fiesta daw, he would have his revolver in his belt just in case something
Oh
happens.
my
Dude.
god.
Tapos
Actual mafia boss.
tapos
Asyong Salonga, dude.
tapos pag nandun ako sa Tondo and he would like strike a conversation with me, yung lagi niyang tatanungin is, tumitilao na ba yung manok mo? Fuck.
The
Is
fuck?
this a penis thing?
Yes.
Oh
okay.
god.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
Huh?
understand.
I was like,
What?
huh? Tas nung tinanong niya daw yung other cousin ko, sagot daw niya, "Opo, lo, tumitila ako na, dumudura na nga eh." I'm like,
Oh my god.
Ah!
Okay.
Late
Alright.
night Fridays.
Hey buddy, how's your manok?
tapos
Hey,
yung
how's
isang,
your
tas
rooster?
isang favorite memory ko sa kanya is when he was really sick na, he was about to die or something. He was really paranoid. He had a shotgun next to his bed.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
In case death approached.
Oh,
Or fight
tapos he was visited by spirits or something. Tapos tas yung sinasabi niya, sinisigawan niya yung, yung spirit. Ba't wala kang muka? Ganun.
Oh my god.
Scary gago. Scary
Kajilal was a
bigla.
badass, bro. What the hell?
Yeah.
You don't
Tas
wanted to
yun,
fight them.
Yeah.
tas yung exercise niya is, he made his own stationary bike. Tapos parang, it's literally a bike, but he took off the wheels and made it like a
Yeah.
stationary bike.
Yeah.
He welded it himself or something.
Kidding.
Tapos yung, like, he had a shotgun on his deathbed. And like, yeah.
Confirmed. Asyong Salonga. Confirmed.
Dude.
And then,
Kapal si Ashok sa loob.
what, ano ba yun? When my lola died on his side, he had a fucking girlfriend after.
Lakas, dude. How old
Tres?
is the girlfriend?
I don't know, like 40s, 50s? And he was like 70, 80.
Wow.
Strong.
Yeah.
Oh, what a stud, dude.
My man.
Yeah.
My man.
Grabe.
Yeah. Alam ko maraming drama about like yung isa kong dapat may tuturo sa akin ng driving, family friend. He got shot in the fiesta. This parang misfire lang ng, I'm not sure if it's my lolo or someone. Basta
Oh my
it was a
god.
fiesta. And then he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then-
jeez.
then
It's
live.
getting
That-
crazier and
that does
crazier.
happen in
The more you
fiestas.
speak.
Huh?
The more you speak, it just gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
Dude, Tondo is a crazy place, okay?
Yeah,
Alright,
I
let's
mean,
go, Tondo.
Honestly, I think in Tondo that's like normal. I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
I
okay.
don't know.
Could be, honestly. Dude, in the
Yeah.
province, it's wild.
Yeah.
If you get mad at someone, you just,
They just
shoot
bring out
them.
they just bring out a 9mm and they're like, what you say?
dude,
I mean,
crazy.
yung sa lolo ko naman di 9mm talaga revolver.
Oh.
Like the 6
Oh, okay,
Oh.
okay. So,
Yeah,
so
that makes it
Wild
better.
West
Yeah.
here. Let's go.
Sheriff. Clicking heads.
Click.
Just-
It's time.
Oh
Stop.
god. Okay, dude.
Practicing his aim lang in deathmatch.
Yun yung ano
It's
niya, bro.
aim
Hindi
labs,
pa
aim
daw
labs,
uso yung
bro.
ano, bro. Hindi pa uso yung aim labs nun, bro.
Usually pag may celebration sa house na sa Tondo, halos lahat ng tao pumupunta.
Gotta taste that revolver.
Asyong Salonga confirmed. Notice would your like family when they celebrate then do they like shoot guns?
No?
Okay.
Oh no. Okay, because sometimes like pag
They
New
just-
Year like before,
Uh,
because my dad's into guns, like yeah, licensed guns before like New Year's in in our house in Batangas. He'd call all the cousins, like the guy cousins. Like my cousins, like, hey, come here. Like my dad would call them, like, let's shoot my gun, and then go to the backyard, just shoot the gun. On
wala
New
naman,
Year.
wala kasing backyard doon sa Tondo.
Yes,
We're
no,
literally in the
sorry, guys.
middle of the, ano.
But sometimes they shoot sa ground to celebrate. I've
And-
attended like a party in.
And I feel like if
Right.
they shot guns in there, like,
Oh yeah, because hindi
Everyone's
siya,
gonna start shooting
hindi siya
up.
probinsya eh. The province, dude. As an example, birthday party near someone's
Yeah.
house. You just find like a mound of dirt outside lang, and
yeah,
just shoot your gun
yeah,
to celebrate. As in,
yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Wild.
It's wild.
My
at least yeah, at least they
gosh.
like at least from what I've seen, they'd shoot it sa ground at least, not just sa air kasi it can strike someone.
Mm.
So you just shoot it on the ground.
Alright. Thanks for sharing your badass lolo, my friend, with a
Dude, yeah.
revolver.
It's the gift that just keeps giving. I'm sure there's more.
Every
pa.
time oh no.
Getting like at some point you gotta think, is Josh just making this shit up?
Okay. Okay.
I'm not, dude. Honestly, I wish I was.
Lol, I wish I was. Lawless talaga. They're
Yeah.
built different lang, you know?
It was a different era, guys.
Yeah.
Mas bad as lolo ko sa'yo. Sa lolo
Oh
mo.
god, are we gonna do that?
Mas
Oh,
bad as
man.
lolo ko sa
Man.
lolo mo.
Maybe that's why I like shooter games.
Okay.
It's in the blood, it's in the blood, guys.
Okay.
I can't even hear him laughing.
Yeah,
The mic's just cutting out.
Anyway. Yeah.
Baby's
Ikaw,
tired.
Yeah.
Kaelen. You got
Thanks for
anything?
having me, my friends.
Dude, thanks so much for coming on. And yeah, and apologies again for canceling.
Mhm.
It's
last
all
week.
good.
And
Pants
I think it
Lolo.
happened at the right time. It all happened at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Thank you for having me, my friends.
Those,
Thank
Thank you
you so
for
much.
coming, dude.
yes, of course.
Um,
Thank you for being here. Thank you
and
for sharing.
and
Yeah.
to chat, thank you for watching. Hope you took something, learned
Mhm.
something, or realized something, or just
Mm-hmm.
entertained tonight.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I'm really glad we do
Mm-hmm.
this show. And yeah, are
Mm.
you gonna end?
Oh,
The,
okay. I can like yeah.
are we gonna? Are
Yeah,
we gonna?
yeah. We're like, what time is it? It's half past skin. Sorry.
All right.
Anyway. So yeah,
So guys,
Okay.
In?
I don't have a watch.
Because he
Sorry.
looks
half
at.
Are you a
past
Skinner?
half past skin.
All right. All right,
All
guys.
right.
I
Are you
will.
a
I will
Saint
do
or a
an. I will
Skinner?
do an outro.
Are you a Saint or a Skinner, dude?
Okay,
But just stop waving. It's
guys.
gonna be a while. It's like a 2 minute thing.
Oh,
Oh,
do
when
you
you do
Yeah.
your
there?
outro, we can't know. Okay.
But your whole
Okay,
waving, it's gonna
so
be a while.
thank you for everyone who watched, and if you're still watching this, I don't know if I should say that though, because
No, no. I think
no,
it's. I think it's a
no,
little.
no,
Not this. Not
yeah,
this time. Not
not
this
this
time.
time. I'll say
Not
it
this
this
time, guys. Not
episode.
this time. Anyway,
Thank
I'll
thanks.
say
you.
it
Thanks.
next week.
Yeah, next week.
Use
Next week.
code Wuks. No, I'm just kidding.
Code Wuks.
Cold walk. How you?
Yeah.
It's spelled how you say it. Cold walks.
Wuks. When you buy it sa SNR, tell them you bought it because of Wuks.
Yeah.
All right.
And if they can't find it, say it's the one for work. Okay. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Ito pala, sir.
Bring it out.
Any-
You're gonna
anyway,
go into warehouse pa and then bring out a bunch
Yeah,
of
tas
the
may label no for work.
Tapos
This
For
is
itataktak pa niya kasi ginagamit.
uh,
Oh,
yung for
God.
work talaga. Heavy duty to, sir.
Anime
insulated.
yun.
Ito sir,
It will-
kakagamit ko lang nito sir.
Oh, shit.
That's why it's buy one take one.
Oh my God.
'Cause you
That
take
make-
one of like the employees.
Yeah, that makes
Mm.
sense. That makes sense.
It's literally you take one from someone who.
Oh, okay, ending
He
remarks,
didn't
guys.
get paid, he
Ending
just loses
remarks.
his
Ending
mug.
remarks.
Oh, dude.
Alright.
Okay, 1,000 pesos siya.
Okay, guys. Thanks
Alright,
for everyone that stayed. I hope that
Oh.
you took anything from this show. I hope it helped you for everyone in chat if you
Yeah.
are like going through something like this.
Mhm,
A
mhm.
takeaway that I have personally made from listening to all the stories is that the loved one you lost would always like be with you. Like you could
Aw.
see that through the stories that Wuks shared, Diero shared, Josh shared, their loved ones are still with them, and their experiences can be shared over and over, and they don't really truly leave you.
Huh.
And
It's just like Coco, right? Like the
Mhm.
memories are
yeah,
what keep them going.
Been back, memories, been back though.
so yeah.
God damn it.
Wait,
Sorry, did we
it's
mess
okay.
up
No,
the
it's okay.
outro?
It's okay. And
Remember me.
DMCA, DMCA.
don't
No, I'm just
DMCA us,
kidding.
don't DMCA us. And again, if you have any stories you want to share with us, we still have a segment that we haven't actually done yet. Dear Diero, you can just send it to
Yo, we
my
have so many guests lined up. We have no time for Dear Diero. But
Double
thank
E
you to
segment.
the. So far, we have like one story right
Yeah,
lined
no,
up.
actually, we have like 2 or 3 already.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
awesome!
just
Thanks
lined
so
up.
much for
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Thanks for
For
sending your
sending us
stories.
stories.
Can't
Mhm.
wait to read those.
Yeah, you can send it to my Discord, email, or just message me on Facebook or Twitter DMs. Is that what that's called? Yeah, and
Yes.
hey guys. I'm gonna
Mm.
tell them something. We're rebranding soon.
We are?
We are?
Rebrand.
I think we are. I can officially say it because like
Rebrand?
we're going to start doing
Yeah.
it.
Rebrand.
Stop.
Yeah. Perhaps we are.
All right, it's been
Perhaps we are.
over 2 hours, guys. Let's we can go now. We can go now.
All right.
Yo,
Good night. Have a great
peace.
Friday night, evening rest. Rest well.
Good night, chat.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Bye. See y'all in the
Code
next.
Wuks, Code Wuks.
Code Wuks.